Mark. So yeah, I like the old videos myself there. I have an old 101ZD myself, but it needs a slight attention. It needs a slight bit of work there, over.
Yeah, QSL, Rodney. Well, I'll tell you what, I do like my old radios. In my loft shack, I've got all the modern stuff. I've got a TS590S, and you know what? I haven't used that, apart from on 60 metres, I haven't used that since probably last Easter. I've got an FT-101ZD, that's another modern one, and then a few other modern pieces of kit for VHF mainly. But down in the garage in this shack, I've got the FT-101ZD that I bought just before Christmas. It was at the beginning of Easter. Come with a silent key sale. It was very, very nice. It was all boxed with all the paperwork, manuals and everything. The silent key had happened 5 years previously, and we'll say the young lady that was selling off the estate, she'd sold everything previously, but for some reason there was this and a few other bits no one wanted. So I made a donation to her cause. She didn't want to be paid for it, so she just wanted a donation to her cause for Christmas. So I gave her what I thought was a good value for the radio and all the other stuff that she was about to put in the skip, and she was very, very happy, very over the moon with it. So yeah, I've been using this one since December. I've also got a Tango Sierra 520 Sierra, an old Trio hybrid, a nice analog radio. I've been using that, as I say, since about last Easter when I bought that, and then I've got a few on the go that I'm restoring at the moment. I've got a Swan 350, which is a copy of one of the KW radios, and then a couple of summer camps transmitters and receivers that need a lot of work, and then a few other old girls hanging around, but they are really in a sorry state. So I'm just future-proofing the retirement. I'm buying it now, storing it away, and I'll get to use it. But this 101ZD didn't need any work whatsoever. The microphone's the Yankee Delta 148 desk microphone. Nothing special about it, but it came with the radio and it seems to be working well. And the antenna's really lazy. It's just a 90-foot long wire. Nothing special. I've always had long wires up ever since I was a shortwave listener and a crystal set builder, that sort of thing, right back into the 1970s. And I've always had the wire up. And when I got my first license, my M6 in 2017, the wire was there, so I just put an unan on it, a 9-to-1 unan, and that's what I've used ever since. I say I'm very lazy when it comes to HF antennas. I put a bit more thought into the VHF stuff. But no, the HF ones, mate, I just bung a wire up and take pot luck, and which is why I had to tune up slightly. I tuned up a little bit further down the band when I first like switched on, and then when I came up the band, I think if I go up about 30 or 40 kilohertz, maybe a little bit less than that, it really does need a bit of a retune on the pre-select and the plate and loading. So yeah, I just mucked about with it a bit, but yeah, running, as I say, running 50, maybe between 50 and 70 watts, and yeah, so you're actually peaking over the 9 on some overs. You've been going about 5 and 9 plus 10. Anyway, that long rambling over, Rodney, is passing it back to you, and you can burn my eardrums out now. Back to you. 2I0JKM M0JCF.
Yourself back here, and the radio's absolutely kind of fantastic there. You would know you were using an old radio. See, they just have that old punch about them. That's just that foam. It's hardly, only you would know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm no audio expert by no means there, but there's like an audio receive and transmit foam out of them old radios, and it's just class. In my opinion, I see you obviously like your other bike there as well. It looks like you like a bit of speed there, Mark. I'm a bit of a speed freak myself there, to be honest. So so I would. But yeah, thank you very much for coming back to the call. I also am working away here at the minute, and all I have is one antenna up for 2 meters is X510. All in the beam, I had a 4-element up there for 10, and that came down last week in the storms there, so it did. And the towers is all down, they're all in for repair. So all I have for XF really, Mark, is I have an 80-metre loop here, and I have a 40-metre dipole, a half-wave 40-metre dipole, a homebrew one, and that's what I've been working away with there the last couple of weeks. And it seems to do my job, and just like you said, I'd probably just being lazy, but I could do with getting myself some sort of beam there for the tower. I would like to get myself some sort of beam for the tower, maybe for 20 metres, or maybe 17 or 15, I'm not just sure, I haven't made my mind up yet, but I'd like to put something up there for 2, a beam up there for 2, and some, I played with the idea last year, from I got the towers down, and I just couldn't make my mind up what to go for, but the old wire there seems to be doing the job for me, and I'm just being lazy over it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, mate. Yeah, I'm the laziest ham in the world, mate. It's just I just throw it together. I do a lot of home brewing, you know. I'm interested in that more than the antennas, you know. Like especially nowadays, a lot of the new hams are you know, they're really into their antennas, and I'm not. I'm very lazy when it comes to antennas. But then I do like to homebrew linear amplifiers, VFOs. I've got all sorts of half-finished AM rigs for top band and 80 meters and that, but you know, just all unfinished, because as I say, back in the 1970s I was a very keen crystal set builder, and then I went on to transistor radios and valve radios. Regenerative receivers is really my thing, and as I say, I'm interested in that side of ham radio rather than the antennas and that sort of metalwork. But I've got a 9-element LFA for 2 meters up, and at the moment it's lowered down because we had all of those high winds the other week, and I lowered it all down, and I just haven't got to shove it back up yet. But that's a very soon project now that the nicer weather's coming, and soon we'll be into British summertime. So I would like to get the 2 meter beam pushed back up, and I've also got, I bought it just before Christmas, a Diamond CP6. It's brand new in the box. A friend of mine who's a ham, who lives just 10 miles away or so, his dad, who was a ham, bought it in the early 2000s and unfortunately went silent key before he could put it up. So I bought this Diamond CP6, which is a multi-band tracked vertical, and I've got that to go up as well. I used to have a vertical for 10 meters, which I took down just before Christmas, and I moved that on, and it was going to take its place. But you know, my roof is getting a little bit crowded with metalwork up there, and of course I do have a station manager who I tend to agree with her. She doesn't like the look of all that aluminium, so I've got to be very careful with the station manager. So what I'll do is I'll get the 2 meter beam pushed back up into position, because it's always been there. It's just obviously it's going to be a bit more visible. Say the 10 meter verticals come down, and what I'll do is I'll put the CP6 up, and I'll just claim that it was always up there, and the other one I just took it down for maintenance, and I've put it back up, and I'm sure I can get around it that way. But that's the only way, as I say. And the long wire, well, it's just a bit of wire in the sky, you know. It's never been noticed by anyone, neighbours or anyone. I say luckily, because I live in the suburbs of London as well, you know, I've got good neighbours. No one has ever complained about the metalwork that's up at the back of the house. So, you know, I'm very lucky in that respect. So I know there are some people that, you know, have become hams in the last couple of years, whose neighbours have all complained about various aluminium rods and beams and whatever. You know, so I've been very, very lucky that I get on well with the neighbours. So I've never had to explain myself to anyone other than, oh blimey, what's that, mate? You know, I mean, the 9-element LFA, my wife does refer to them as monkey bars, and you can imagine, you know, it is a big chunk of aluminium. Anyway, on that note there, Rodney, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, mate. I'm going to go QRT. I'm just checking the time there, and I've just noticed we're coming up to 8:30 in the evening now. So I'm actually going to go QRT. I have actually recorded this, well, part of this QSO. I've got a YouTube channel where I store, you know, certain videos and that when I run out of space on my mobile device. So with your permission, because obviously your call signs mentioned in it, I'll put that up. But if you've got any objections, it's not a problem, mate. I'll just delete the video. But I like to do that. People, I don't know, you know, people it's a bit like alternative shortwave listening. People just like to hear these things and see these radios and that in action, you know. And I like to showcase that this old stuff, and as you say, this lovely old stuff with those lovely warm tones and everything, you know. I like to sort of showcase it, that, you know, you don't need to spend thousands of pounds on modern radio kit, you know. This old kit that's 40, 50 years old will work as good, if not sometimes better, so long as you know how to drive it. Anyway, as you can tell, Rodney, I do like to ramble on, and I forget that I'm actually talking on ham radio and not burning someone's ears off in the pub. So I'll hand it back to you there, mate, and I will wish you best 73. Thanks for taking the call. It's always good to talk to our cousins just there across the Irish Sea. So I'll say 73, and over to you for a final there, Rodney. 2 India 0 Juliet Kilo Mike. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Name off you and maybe get a wee look up there to see what way I sound there, if you don't mind. If you could give me that just before you clear there, Mark, from 2I0JKM.
Yeah, 2I0JKM M0JCF. Absolutely not a problem, mate. All you got to do on YouTube is look for the user, or whatever they call me. It's Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Fox Ham Radio. So M0JCF Ham Radio is the YouTube channel. And as I say, the quality of my videoing is sometimes not as good as it could be. But, you know, it is what it is. Nice to have met you, and especially as being a 2 India 0. I don't work a lot of 2 India 0s. A lot of Gulf India and Mexico India 0s, etc. But the two India 0, you seem to be a little bit thin on the ground, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I just haven't had a listen at the right times. I don't know. But once again, I'm rambling, mate, and as you can tell, I do like a ramble. You'll find on there as well, on that YouTube channel, some of the other kit that I've been using, including the little Chinese made micro SDX, which is the little SDR receiver and Class E transmitter, one of those tiny little palm held but 8-band multi-mode HF radios. 100 quid, mate. Got it on eBay, and it's absolutely stonking. It's absolutely brilliant for a tiny little QRP radio. You'll see me showcasing that. I think that's where I've got most of my hits as well. I've got thousands and thousands of views on those particular videos rather than the older stuff. Anyway, there you go, mate. That's the story. I'll let you get some more contacts, and as I say, I'm going to dive out of the garage beach and get myself indoors and spend a little bit of quality time with my good lady wife. And I don't know about my daughters, they're both in their 20s, they probably couldn't care less whether I'm in or out. But all joking aside, take care, mate. Very best 73 to you and the family, and I really look forward to working you again, Rodney. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Bye bye for now. 2 India 0 Juliet Kilo Mike. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. 2 India 0 Japan Kilo Mexico. Return on tell you there, Mark, in the final. Yeah, all covered. Probably the 2I0 call here myself. You haven't heard me all much. It's only the last few weeks I have lifted the mic there and started doing a bit of calling CQ. I've done a lot more shortwave listening there, to be honest, since I got my intermediate. So that's the reason there, probably, Mark, to be honest. But the last couple of weeks there, I've just been getting stuck in and really enjoying my old hobby. My old man there, he's a GI0, and he's been about the radio a lifetime. I say he has. And he'd be a bit like yourself there. Kind of really warmed up. He knows how to let one rip. But sure, why else would you be in a hobby like this here on the phone end of things if you don't like an old tree show? Mark, it's been a pleasure, and I hope to work you on again in the very near future. That's 7 from North Ireland there, and I hope to catch you down the log there very soon. This is 2 India 0 Japan Kilo Mexico. Wishing M0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. That's 7 Mark, and we'll catch you down the log.
Yeah, cheers, Rodney. Very good evening to you, and once again, an absolute pleasure. Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, going clear. Bye bye, old chap.
7 QRZ. Golf 0 Radio Papa Papa 20 on 33 over. Golf 0 Romeo Tango Papa, is that to yourself? Negative, yeah. It's Golf 0 Radio Papa Papa 20 Radio Pizza Pizza over. Golf 0 Radio Papa Papa 2 India 0 Japan Kilo Mexico. Return tell you. The name's Rodney here, and I live in a small town, Ballymena, about 26 miles northwest of Belfast.